Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling today? Have you struggled for a really long time in life with problems, limitations, emotional dysregulation, thought and cognition problems, and you struggle and you struggle and you struggle, and life is difficult and you're not getting anywhere? But over time, things start getting better and you start growing, you start moving on, you start understanding things from a different perspective, and you actually start doing well. And then you feel like you're doing well for a while, but then all of a sudden you feel almost triggered. You start remembering more and more and more of your trauma, and you're starting to become more and more aware of triggering situations. And we tend to struggle with trauma when we are doing well. And the reason for this is because we are doing so well that the mind brings forth things that it otherwise previously wouldn't think we'd be able to handle. You tend to struggle with trauma, unresolved trauma, when you are doing well in your life, because your mind won't give you something that is too great to deal with. Your mind won't overload you and overwhelm you with bad things if bad things are already happening, or if you are in a bad state. Trauma is a subconscious process. Trauma lives in the subconscious, and the subconscious manages trauma, repressed emotions, and memories as well. So the subconscious will start bringing up things from the past that you wouldn't have otherwise remembered or thought of, or you've repressed for so long, and then all of a sudden it comes up. And you're thinking to yourself, why am I having all of these emotions? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I so triggered? And that's because the subconscious finally thinks that you are able to deal with these repressed things. When you are in a stronger state, your mind will start presenting you with unresolved traumas and triggers that you will start facing every day. And the reason for this is the subconscious will repress trauma so you can remain functional. You cannot be functional if you are constantly stuck in your trauma and you're struggling in life. So it's a protective mechanism that the subconscious uses so that you can remain functional and that you can live a relatively normal life, and that it won't inhibit your functioning, your work, your daily routine. And it's a very amazing thing that the subconscious can do this, but we don't always realize why are we feeling these feelings when we are doing so well, because we are presented with an opportunity to deal with something when we are strong. And the subconscious also brings up trauma when you're doing well, because it thinks that you can handle it and that you're in a better place. Remember, your subconscious will never ever present you with something that it feels you cannot handle. If the situation or the trauma is too intense, it will repress it, store it in the memory, and then bring it up at a later point in life when you are doing better and when you have self-developed and you have experienced personal growth. And the thing is, the subconscious thinks you are stronger with a better mindset. It can tell that the way you view life is not the same as it was years ago. and it can see that you're in a better place, and it wants to prolong that by dealing with the things that hurt you in the past, by dealing with the difficulties of the past, so you can carry on having a happy and prosperous life. It won't give you something that it feels you cannot handle. That's the amazing thing about the mind. What it feels you cannot handle, it will automatically repress, store, and keep it for a later day when it feels that you do have the strength and you do have the mindset to deal with these things. A good way to prevent this type of psychological process is dealing with the trauma when it presents itself. Repressing trauma when you can deal with it further only creates more issues later in life. You will find yourself struggling to make connections, struggling to feel happy and fulfilled, constantly being triggered and stressed and worried and overthinking. That's why when you are presented with a very severe situation, you are very emotional, it's important to process those emotions, to work through the situation so that it doesn't become repressed trauma. So you don't have to spend that good time in your life dealing with the difficulties of the past, because that's what it is. Difficulties of the past. You have shaped yourself to who you are today. Your traumas are just a part of your past that has created a lot of difficulty for you. So remember, when you are presented with trauma, don't run away from it. Don't be triggered by it. Process it and work through it, and you can see some amazing results. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that beautiful person. Stay strong wherever you're from. You are worthy.